Hi all. So let's solve this question. This question is saying identify the bounded variables and free variables in each of the following expressions or statements. In both the cases, the universe, the domain is set of all real numbers. So we need to find in these expressions, in these statements, we need to find what are the bounded variables and what are the free variables. So let's start with the first one. In this first one, you can notice, first of all, what is the scope of this universal quantifier? This for all y. What is the scope of this for all y? So for this for all y, the scope is, you can see, this is the scope of this universal quantifier. So I can say this is the scope of this universal quantifier for all y. And what is the scope of this there exists z? For this there exists z, you can see this is the open bracket and this is the corresponding close bracket. So this is the scope of this there exists z. So I can say this is the scope, I can say this is the scope of there exists z. For this quantifier, this is the scope. So you can see in this scope, this is the scope of there exists z. In this scope, if there is any occurrence of z, okay, every occurrence of z in this scope is bounded by this quantifier. So you can see very simple, this is the scope of there exists z. In this scope, if I put this variable z in this scope, within this area, within this scope, if I put the variable z, then that variable, that occurrence of the variable is bounded by this quantifier. So you can see this is a bounded variable. This is a bounded variable and this z is bounded by this there exists z. So I can say this is bounded by. So you can see this variable z, this is bounded by this existential quantifier z. Similarly, you can notice for this universal quantifier for all y, this is the scope, this red one, this is the scope of this universal quantifier. So in this scope, if you put the variable y, this variable y if you put, so I can say in this scope, every occurrence of variable y is bounded by this quantifier. So again, you can notice that this variable y, this is also bounded. This variable y is also bounded variable, and this variable y, this is bounded by this universal quantifier. Okay, so very simple, very simple. Now you can see this variable x, this is free. So I can simply say this variable x, this variable is a free variable. This is a free variable. Okay, and similarly you can notice this variable x, this variable x is also a free variable because this variable x, this is not bounded by any quantifier. This variable x, this is not in the scope of any universal quantifier for all x. Also, this is not in the scope of any existential quantifier there exists x. So you can see this variable x, this is free. So remember this variable x, this is a free variable. So very simple. So this option A, you can see in this option A, I can simply say that there is a free variable x. In this, I can say that there is a free variable, this free variable is x. So you have a free variable x. So finally, I can say this option A, this statement A, you can simply write that this is a predicate over variable x. This statement, this expression is basically a predicate because it depends on the variable x. There is a free variable x. So I can say this is a predicate over variable x. This is a predicate over the variable x. So remember, I can say this option A, you can simply write as some px. Because in this option A, there is a free variable x. So this statement will depend on the variable x. Depending on the value of x, it will change, I can say. Okay, if you replace this value of x, so depending on the value of x, it will become true or false. So I can simply say that this is, I can say this is a predicate over variable x. There is a free variable x here. So I can say this A I can represent as px. Now let's see the next. Let's see this statement. In this statement also you can notice what is the scope of this existential quantifier. For this existential quantifier, you can notice this is the scope. This is the scope of this there exists x, I can say. Scope of there exists x. And what is the scope of this there exists y? From this open bracket to this close bracket, I can say this is the scope of there exists y. So I can simply say that this is the scope of there exists y. Now you can see here that this x, this is in the scope of there exists x. So that is the reason I can say this x is bounded, and this is bounded by this there exists x. Similarly, you can see this y, this is in the scope of there exists y. So I can simply say this is also bounded, and this is bounded by there exists y. But you can see this variable z is free variable. this variable z, this is free because this z is not in the scope of any for all z. Also this is not in the scope of there exists z. See, this variable z, this is not quantified, there is no quantifier on this variable z, so I can say this is a free variable. So in this expression b, you can say this is the free variable, this z is the free variable, and because this is the free variable, so I can say this statement b, in this statement b we have a free variable z. So it means this statement b, this is a predicate over variable z, this is a predicate because there is a free variable here, so I can say this is a predicate over variable z. And I can say this variable b, this statement b, I can simply write as some, for example, I can write as qz because this is a predicate over variable z. Okay, because in this statement b we have a free variable z. So the truth value of this statement b will depend on the value of z. Okay, so depending on the value of z, it will be true or false. So simply I can say that this statement b, this is a predicate over variable z because there is a free variable z. So this statement b I can write as qz. Let's do some more analysis of this option b. So this is your domain is set of real numbers and this is your option b. This is the statement b. We have already seen that in this statement b there is a free variable z. We have a free variable z here. So because you have a free variable z, so I can simply say that you can simply write this as predicate over variable z. So remember this, you can simply say that this is a predicate. This is a predicate over variable z. So what you can simply write it as some qz, pz, something like that. So let's assume that you write it as qz. Okay. So because this is a predicate over variable z, because there is a free variable z here. Now let's do some analysis, and first of all you tell me what this statement means. This statement, if in English what this statement means. Remember the domain is set of real numbers. So you can see this statement, because there is a free variable z here. So this statement is basically about variable z. This statement is basically a statement about variable z, or I can say this is a property of z. So what is this property? This is the property of z. What is the property of z here? So let's see what this statement is saying. This statement basically says that this z is equal to x square minus y square, where x, y are real numbers, right? So I can say this variable z, basically this variable z, or I can say this z, this real number z, because remember the domain is set of real numbers. So every variable, whether it is free variable, bounded variable, whatever variable you take, that will refer to this domain. Okay, the domain is set of real numbers. So z is also a real number, y is also a real number, x is also a real number. So I can simply say this statement qz, this is a property of z. This is a statement about this z. Okay, and what we are saying, this z is a real number. So I can say that real number z is equal to x square minus y square, is equal to x square minus y square for some real x comma y. Okay, so this is your statement. So simple, you can see statement, this statement qz. What this statement is saying? This statement is saying that this real number z, because this z is a real number. I told you, whatever variable you take, free variable, bounded variable, whatever variable you take, that will always refer to the domain. So this z is a real number. So I can say this real number z is equal to x square minus y square for some real number x comma y. Now if I ask you, in this you can notice that here there is a free variable, and that free variable is z. So this is the free variable. But if I ask you what is the truth value of there exists z qz, what can you say? There exists z qz. What is the truth value of there exists z qz? Remember, now I am saying there exists a real number. Now what this statement means? Now this statement means that there exists a real number. Now we are saying that there exists a real number z. So understand, now we are saying there exists a real number z. There exists a real number z such that qz will happen. Okay, such that this qz will happen means I can say there exists a real number z which is equal to x square minus y square. Okay, I can say which is equal to x square minus y square for some x comma y. For some x comma y. Very simple. So this is your there exists z qz. Now is this true or false? Think about it. There exists z qz. Is this true or false? So this is saying there exists a real number z, there exists a real number z, so which is equal to x square minus y square for some x comma y. Yes, this statement is true. Why this statement is true? What is the witness for this statement? This statement is true, and who is the witness? Who is the witness? We need at least one element. We need at least one real number z which is equal to x square minus y square for some x comma y. So you can take witness. For example, I can take witness as, I can say witness I can take as 3. You can see this witness I can take z equal to 3. This witness I can take, because you can notice 3 is equal to x square minus y square for some x comma y. So you can see this 3 is equal to square root of 3 whole square minus 0 whole square. So very simple. You can see, so I am taking this x equal to square root of 3 and I am taking y equal to 0. Okay, because remember x comma y are also real numbers, so I can take x equal to square root of 3. This is what I can do, because x comma y, these are also real number. X is also a real number, y is also a real number, so I can take x equal to square root 3 and y equal to 0. This is what I can do. So very simple. This statement, there exists z q z, this statement is true. And what is the witness? You can take the witness as z equal to 3. Okay, because this statement, there exists z q z, this statement says that there exists a real number z, there is some real number z, at least one real number z which is equal to x square minus y square for some x equal to y. So you can simply see this z equal to 3. This is equal to square root of 3 whole square minus 0 whole square. Basically I am taking x equal to I am taking root 3, or y and y equal to 0 I am taking. So you can see this statement is true. What about this statement? If I put universal quantifier here, if I put this universal quantifier, this for all z q z, pause the video and think about it. So pause the video, think about this. Is this true or is this false? And put your comment. Okay, before watching the solution, put your comment. Is this true or is this false? Put your comment and then you watch the solution. So now let me tell you, this for all z q z, remember what this is saying? This is saying that for every, this statement is saying that for every real number z, you take for every real number z, whatever real number z you take, for every real number z we are saying, so for every real number z we are saying that this z is equal to x square minus y square for some x equal to y, for some real x equal to, for some x comma y. Okay, very simple. So this is saying for all z q z, it means for every real number z I am saying, for every real number z, for all z, for every real number z I am saying that this z is equal to x square minus y square for some real number x comma y. Is this true? Is this true? So you think about it. Is this true? Pause the video, think about it. Is this true? Write your answer in the comments. Then you continue the then you watch the solution. So let me tell you, yes, this statement is true. Why this statement is true? Because you can see, you take any z, any real number z you take. For example, let's assume you take this real number minus 3.3. You take this z, you take this real number. Let's take this. Now you can notice that this is equal to, what you can do now, for some real x comma y. So you can take for this z, what you can do, you can take x equal to 0 and you can take y equal to square root of 3.3. Okay, so what you can do, you can take x equal to 0, you can take y equal to square root of 3.3. Please understand, I am saying for all z q z will happen, means for all real number z, this every real number is equal to x square minus y square for some real number x comma y. So if you take minus 3.3, then for this z what you can do, you can take x equal to 0 and you can take y equal to square root of 3.3. Now you can easily notice that this minus 3.3, this is equal to x square minus y square. Okay, so very simple. Now similarly, what you can do, for example, if your z, if you take z equal to, for example, let's assume z equal to pi you take, that is also a real number, z equal to pi. Now for this what you can do, you can take x equal to square root of pi and you can take y equal to 0. So this is what you can do. Now you can easily notice that this pi is equal to x square minus y square. Okay, so very simple. So very simple you can notice. So this is what I am saying, that this statement, Okay, so this statement is true. This statement is true. What you need to do, very simple. If you have any positive, if you have any positive real, for positive real, what you need to do, if your z is greater than 0, if your z is greater than 0, then what you can do, you can simply take x equal to a square root of z. Okay, you can take x equal to square root of z, and you can take y equal to 0. This is what you can do. So now you can easily notice that if you do this, then you can easily notice that z is equal to x square minus y square. Okay, similarly, if your x, if your z is less than 0, you can see, if your z that is less than 0, then what you can do, you can simply take x equal to 0, and you can take y equal to square root of plus square root of modulus z. Okay, so this is what you can do. So if your z is less than 0, then what you can do, you can take x equal to 0, and you can take y equal to square root of modulus z. Okay, so this is what you can do. Now also you can notice that this z is equal to x square minus y square. So very simple. Similarly, if your z is 0, if you take z equal to 0, if z is 0, then what you can do, then you can take x equal to 0, y equal to 0. Okay, so very simple. The point is simple that this statement is true. So remember this, for all z, qz, this statement is true. Okay, whatever real number you take, for any real number z, okay, for every real number z, very simple, for all z means for every real number z, I can say this z is equal to x square minus y square for some x comma y, for some real value, real number x comma y. So this statement is true. Whatever real number you take, you can write that as x square minus y square for some real number x comma y. So this statement, for all z, qz, this statement is also true, and this statement is also true. There exists z, qz. This statement is also true. So this is the complete analysis of this question. So we have done the complete analysis of this question. For this option, we have seen the complete analysis. I hope this question is clear to everyone. So in this option A, there is a free variable x. So you can write that this as predicate over variable x. And in this option B, there is a free variable z. So you can write this as some predicate over variable z. So very simple. Here we have free variable. There is a free variable here. So we have a free variable x here. And here you also we have a free variable. And here the free variable is a z. So very simple. In these, and you can see in this first one, this y comma z, this y and this z, they are bounded variable. And in this second one, this x comma y, these are bounded variable. So very simple, this question. And for this option B, we have done the complete analysis. Means what this option B says. Also, so this option B, that is qz. So what is the truth value of there exists z, qz? Also, what is the truth value of for all z, qz? So the complete analysis of this option B also we have done. If you have any doubt, you can put in the comments. Okay. If any doubt is there, then just write your doubt in the comments. I will answer it. I will reply to it. I will answer it. Okay. So don't keep any doubt. Whatever doubt you have, just put a comment. I will answer your doubt.